Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I hope you have already subscribed and keep on subscribing. And once you have subscribed, turn on the notification button so that you won't miss any content and videos that I'm going to be uploading about the SI scholarship, the Swedish Institute for Global Professionals Scholarship. So today it's a good day because we're going to be talking about how you can prepare a competitive CV for the SI application. I know before I touched about the overall application process for the SI, but today I just want to focus on the CV because the CV is one of the most important documents that you need to prepare for you to get this scholarship. And my name is Nyasha Mukapiko, and I'm currently studying media, democracy, and human rights here at Linnaeus University. Don't mind the cool heads and what I'm wearing because it's freezing right now. So you need to keep yourself warm and adjust to the changing weather pattern. So to do this, I'm going to be sharing my screen with you so that we can remind each other of before I can start talking about the CV. Let me share my screen so that we can talk about, I can remind you about the key dates for the SI scholarship. So, as you already know, and as some of you have already started the application process for the university admission is currently open, and it opened on the 15th of October 2024, and the deadline for the application will be on the 15th of January 2025, and the application for the SI will open on the 16th of February 2025, and it will close on the 26th of February 2025. So this will be only for the window for the SI application process will be only for 16 days. So this is why you need to start your application process well in advance. So I will stop sharing my screen so that I can share the template for the CV so that I can walk you through the application process for the CV, how you can prepare a competitive or a winning CV for SI scholarship. So just give me a moment while I share the template for the CV. Yes, here we go. This is the template for the CV, and I'll walk you through the application for the CV. So as you can see here, it's written enclosure to the application for Swedish Institute Scholarship for Global Professionals for Master's Level Studies in Sweden, starting academic year 2025 to 2026. So before you can do anything, you just need to go through the instructions so that you make sure that you understand everything. So here is we talked about the eligibility criteria. In the last video, I also you can find the link to the last video on the under this video below. You'll find a link to the first video that I recorded. So to be eligible, you need to be one of the 32 countries that are eligible for this year. And you need to prepare a CV as one of the required documents. So there are quite a number of documents that you need to prepare, and CV is one of them. And there is also the work experience, leadership experience, and motivational letter. Those are also other documents, but I'm also going to be recording videos to talk about each specific document so that you have everything that you need. So here are the instructions. The CV should only contain relevant information about your experience and background in accordance with the categories and headings in the template. Then the other instruction is you may not alter the formatting of the template, nor create new categories or headings in the template. Alterations will render your application ineligible. However, you may delete heading categories you do not need. Then fill out separate entries for each experience, degree, network, engagement, scholarship as needed under each of these categories. Delete any headings or entries you deem unnecessary according to your situation. You can add entries except under the category work experience, as long as the CV does not exceed 3 pages. So in total, this CV should not exceed a total of 3 pages. So you need to make sure that you are within the range of 3 pages. Then all entries under each category must be in reverse chronological order, starting from the most recent. Here, this is very important. So it should be in a chronological order, starting with the most recent. So if it's your qualification, if it's your degree, you need, if you have a master's and then you have a bachelor's. So that means you need to start with your recent qualification. So in this case, you'll be starting with your master's, then followed by your bachelor's. If you have your diploma, then your diploma in that chronological order. Then the completed CV may not exceed 3 pages. We have already talked about this and emphasized on the importance. Then the completed CV should be converted into PDF. So you need to make sure that once you are done, you convert this CV from the Word format to a PDF format before you can upload it. So you need to take note of that. Do not attach any annexes to the CV. Any other annexes will be disregarded. So you need to make sure that all information fits in that template. They will not consider any annexed documents. If you feel you have quite a number of work experience, then you need to consider your most recent experience and the experience that you think is in alignment with the Swedish Institute for Global Professionals. If you are using a Mac computer and are unable to click or drop down list, try filling out the CV on a PC instead. So if you are using a MacBook and you can't click to fill in the necessary entries, you can do that on a PC or on a desktop. So let's go straight into it. This is the first section, and you need to fill in your personal information. Here is what you need to fill in, your personal information. So as you can see here, you need to replace with your first name, surname as shown on the passport. So this information that you are entering under personal information, it should be as it is reflected on your passport. So here you replace your current residence address, house number, street name, city, postal code, and country. In this case, I'll put in my address, my Zimbabwean address, and also house number, then my country, which is Zimbabwe, and postal code. Usually for Zimbabwe, we don't have a postal code, so in every time when they request a postal code, I just put the 3 zeros. And here you put the city, which is maybe to my situation, Harare. So you need to make sure that everything is according to this template. So here you start with your address, followed by your house number, followed by your street name, followed by your street, followed by your postal code and country. Then here you replace with your phone number. And once you've entered your phone number, please don't forget the country code. In the Zimbabwean case, +263 is the country code. Then here you replace with your email. Then here, your sex, you choose your sex here. Then there are already some options. If you click here, you'll be able to see the options that are available, male, female. Then you enter your sex. Then date of birth, you enter your date of birth. And here you need to make sure that it is according to the template. So you start your date of birth with your year, the year which you were born, followed by the month, and then followed by the day. Then you replace your citizenship. You replace with your citizenship. Where are you from? I am Zimbabwean, so you write Zimbabwean. Yes, then you go after completing this, you go to the section below, which is your work experience. So with your work experience, always start with your current work experience. But I understand it can differ from the different situation, because maybe your current work experience is not within the civil society sector. So because SI scholarship is mainly for students or scholars with background in the civil society. So you really need to put your experience within the civil society background or NGO background. So here you fill in, replace with the dates from the period you have been with the organization up to the time when you left, or up to date if you are still working at that company. So here in terms of the dates, you also need to make sure that you always start with the year, and then followed by the month, and then followed by the day in terms of when you started and up to when that contract came to an end. So here you replace with the occupation. What occupation do you did you hold during your employment? Then replace with your employer's name, that is the name of your company. Then after the name of the company, also add the website of that company. Then you replace with your main task and responsibilities. What were you in charge of? What were your roles when you were working for that organization? So the TORs, the terms of reference when you were engaged with that organization. So you need to make sure that you mention your terms of reference, because I know according to your contract, your terms of reference can be quite many, but you need to pick very few and that you feel these ones are in alignment with SI scholarship. Then if you are in leadership position, please describe it briefly and indicate how many employees were under your supervision. So you need to talk about your leadership experience. If the role was a leadership role, you need to talk about that. Then you also mention the number of employees which was under your supervision. Then industry sector, you type here civil society or NGO. Then brief description of the organization. Then what are the thematic areas that the organization focus on? Is it human rights? Is it media? Is it etc.? Or is it in the arts? If you were, then the other thing that you need uh, to describe what the organization does and how many employees. So you also need to mention the number of employees, the total number of employees in that organization. Then here you SD most recently related to the work you did at this position. So you can click here. As you can see, there are already the drop-down menu with the list of all the sustainable development goals, the SDGs. So for me, mainly it was around issues to do with, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it was around, so it was SDG 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institution, because our work was mainly around participatory democracy. So you can select that, and here you can see it's already there. Then you go to the second session, you just this second category, then you just fill in your information, the other civil society organization that you have been involved with, because under this section of work experience, they need a maximum of 3 organizations. So if you have been involved with more than 3 organizations, you need to make sure that you select 3 organizations that you think this will be of impact for you to get this scholarship. So you just come here and you fill in your information. So for example, if you have been like occupied like several roles within the same organization, you can still put those in the under the work experience. But if you also have been involved with other organizations, I encourage you to put in entries with separate organizations, as that will strengthen your CV and your work experience. But if you have been involved with one organization, so it's still fine. Then you come here, you fill in the information, then you come to the last work experience and you fill in your information. Right, then let's go to the second category, which is the education training. So for I think I've already mentioned about this. In terms of education, you need to start with your recent qualification. So for me, I already had another master's degree. So you start with your master's. I started with my master's degree. Name qualification awarded, which was Masters in Strategic Communication. Then you also need to uh, put the name of the training institution, which is the Midlands State University, and also relevant information such as country, which is in Zimbabwe. Then you replace with a list of principal subjects covered in or the skills. So here you mentioned the modules, what modules were you studying? What were they focus on under this? And in terms of the SDG covered during your studies, if you click here on the drop down, I think it's always about quality education. So you can choose that, but you can also choose another another SDG depending on the focus area of your study. So you might be studying things to do with environment and climate change. You can choose an SDG which is related to that. You can be studying something like what I'm currently studying, which is media, democracy, and human rights. You can choose SDG number 16, which I chose in my entry under the work experience. Then here, there are also three entries. So you can come here and put your bachelor's, what qualification were you awarded under your bachelor's. For me, I studied media and society studies. Then the name of the institution is the same because I did it with the same university and same country. Then the list of modules that you covered, you mentioned them. Then the SDG can still say quality education. Then here, I also did another qualification, which was a diploma in journalism and media studies. Then you input the information here, name of the institution, areas covered. Then let's go to the third section. We started with the work experience, then followed by the educational experience. So now we are completing the network or civil society engagement apart from work experience. You need to mention something that you have been involved in apart from your work experience. So these ones can be because in Zimbabwe, I have been practicing as a journalist, and I have been a member of quite a number of organizations which represents journalists, like the Media Institute of Southern Africa, which represents the interest of journalists when you are arrested in line of duty. So I can come here and mention that organization, the name of the civil society organization. Then you replace with your main task and the responsibilities. Then achievements of your accomplishments during your involvement. This is pretty easy as a member of MISA. You can talk about uh, things like if you have been involved in any advocacy work, like fighting for media freedoms, you can mention them here, or advocating for the alignment of certain laws so that the media environment is free. You can mention those things here. Then if you have been involved with another organization, you can mention here. For me, I was part of so many organizations, like I also used it to cover a lot of parliament work. So you can mention things, the organization that you've been involved in. And then the last section, you also mentioned the same thing, the other civil society organizations or membership that you have been involved with. You can mention those things. So it can be as a volunteer, it can be as a full-time employee or part-time. Then you mention those things here. So make sure that if you have been involved with more than three organizations, make sure that you select the organization that you feel these ones are going to result me in getting this scholarship. Then after you are done with this, you come to the last section, which is previous scholarship and awards. So here you need to mention the name of the awards that you have won, be it as a journalist, be it as as a in the organization that you are working with. Did you get any awards? So for me, during my during my time, I didn't won any awards. So I had to delete this section because there was no reason for me to leave it here like that. But if you have any awards, like you won an award as a journalist, you can put all that information here, or it can be an award that you won during your your university days, studying your bachelor's. It can be a book prize. It can be the overall best student. You can put those awards here. But if you don't have, still, it's not a problem. They are not going to disqualify you for not getting an award. But if you have award, feel free just to list them as we have been doing, from work experience to education experience, and also here on the same section. So once you are done, for me, I didn't have any awards before, so I removed this section. You need to remove it, like what I'm doing here, and delete it because you don't have any awards. But if you have awards, leave it. Then here, once you are done, you also need to remove this section with the instruction. You don't need to submit this. So you remove these instructions. Yeah, you see. Then you also need to remove this. I don't think it's necessary, so that you have enough space to fill in your information. I don't think I need to remove this line. Let me redo. Then I think this one you can leave it. The top, for me, I left it like that. Then that means you are done for the CV. You are done with your CV. Then you need to save it to convert it into PDF. So that's it in terms of preparing a winning CV for the SI scholarship. I hope this video has been very helpful. But before I end this video, I'm just going to share my CV that won me the SI scholarship. So just a moment whilst I share it. My CV, let me check. Just give me a moment so that I can just share my CV in very brief and in a few seconds. Yeah. Let me share my CV now so that you know that things that I'm talking about, it's not just I'm trying to for you. So this is my CV that I applied for SI scholarship. This was my winning CV. See here how I filled in my information, and the top section, I left it there. So see the work experience, like I had um, 2 work experience from the same organization and one work experience from other organization. So it can be from both organization, the work experience, but for me, I had another organization. Then in terms of education, here's my master's degree followed by my bachelor's and followed by my diploma. Then to the network civil society engagement, apart from work experience, I've been a member of the Generational Democracy. So I was also a member of the Zimbabwe Parliamentary Journalists Forum. And this is the description of what I used to do and the brief description of what the organization does and the brief description of the achievements that we did. Then here, my involvement with the Media Institute of Southern Africa. Then that's it. As you can see, I didn't win any awards. So I deleted this section, and this is the CV that I submitted and which won me the SI scholarship for global professionals. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and to leave a comment in the comment section. And once you have subscribed, click the notification button so that each time I upload a new video, you will get a notification. Thank you. Bye-bye. And I will see you in the next video.